Today is 1073rd day that I'm shared lessons I learned. I'm learning how to support your dreams, your goals, and how to become the person that you want to become. Today, speaking about really overconfidence, believing that you know much, much, much better than anyone around you. Now, of course, it could be great sometimes believing that you know much more than other people. That means that you can have more confidence to take action, bold action, and sometimes you'll succeed it. Sometimes I think that believe that when you believe that you know more, sometimes could really give more benefits because sometimes people have so much knowledge, but they have zero confidence, don't achieve anything. People who have overconfidence, but they don't know, after taking a lot of action, a lot of mistakes, they know they learn the mistakes if they able to learn. But today we'll share like what really overconfidence leads to. What are the examples of the not the good things about overconfidence? So number one is really what are the root cause of the overconfidence? And a lot of times it's just biases. We potentially have that bias that we just better than anybody else. And when you have that bias that you, no matter what kind of topic, you believe that you're just better. I think that we need to understand that we need to sometimes be much more humble and say that again, everyone is great. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses. What are my expertise? And we develop because when you have that ability to really be humble, you're able to learn much, much, much more. Second thing when about it is we just need to control because every single person wants to control, but there's a lot of things that will be uncertain. But when we want to have control, we want to have predictability, sometimes believing it that we know everything, it's much, much, much better. Because if you say that you don't know, you give up your control of things. Uh, Last thing that we need to understand is there's a big self-esteem and identity question with that. Because even we say we do not know, for our ego is very, very hard to say I don't know. Because we need to protect our face. Our face needs to be perfect. Our face needs to be that we know everything. How do we look when we do not know? That means that self-esteem is better when we know everything. But I think that when we're able to translate that and really start looking to that, self-esteem is the highest when you're growing, not when you're knowing, but you're growing. That's yeah, because I'm growing, I'm developing and getting better. Like I'm complete all the time, no matter where I am. It doesn't matter what I know, what I don't know. Because the more you know, the more you understand that you don't know. And that's why people who know the most, they understand that there's so much more to learn. Second thing that we need to really look into is that what are social dynamics in that? Because of course, social dynamics are influencing how much do you feel we know. Because when we speak with different kind of people, sometimes we can feel that we know everything, and with other people, we feel that we do not know as much. So it means that hierarchies are authorities. When you're on a hierarchy top, a lot of times that leads to believe that we know more than our subordinates who are below us, theoretically below us. But that's totally not right. Because a lot of times people who are below us have much more knowledge. Because they are below, theoretically below, in the hierarchy below. Only because maybe just not have the leadership capacity, communication capacity, even though that their knowledge is much, much, much better. And when you understand that, we're able to execute much, much better. And leaders who understand that they do not know the most. They just execute and communicate the most, and they're able to use other people's knowledge, able to succeed the most. And sometimes we can really have that group thinking. And what the group thinking means, that it means that we potentially could believe something that is we are the best. And when we think this way, a lot of times we group with people who think very similarly. And sometimes we could believe that our group of those 5 people, 10 people, are the best of the best. And we know the best, and other people are just nonsense. How they could think this way? Like, I mean that it's not nice to really think that other people are not knowing what they're doing, because sometimes even like being in a group doesn't mean that the group is thinking correctly. And being able to have a group humbleness is a key to success as well. Number three is philosophical or existential dimensions. That means that sometimes we can have an illusion of knowledge. And of course, it's not actual understanding. And this is like, again, when we potentially, when you have illusion of knowledge and really take an action with that illusion of the knowledge, a lot of times where that leads to, it's very easy to understand. When you have the illusion of knowledge, that will lead to massive mistakes. And then you have those massive mistakes. If you are able to learn from mistakes, that will lead to understanding. That means it's great. Sometimes illusion of knowledge could be a good thing when you have a real ability to learn from your mistakes. But if you're able to catch it even sooner and you say, this is, to be honest, I do not know that fully as I thought. Maybe I need to really have a mentor and ask questions and share my thoughts and ask, maybe there's gaps in my knowledge. And where are those gaps? What kind of areas? Because if you believe that I know it all, that means we will not ask the questions, we will not find those gaps, and we'll go at taking action and potentially waste months, years on the knowledge that was not correct. Second, we need to understand is that a lot of times we believe that our own opinion is a fact, our own mind is exactly certain, but that's not right. We need to really learn how to separate opinions, emotions, thoughts, and facts. What is, because it's great, is how do you validate your information? This is a beautiful question. How do you validate it? Where do you get your information? I think this is we always need to ask. Even the best friend has some kind of information. Like, we always need to ask our best friend where you get that information from. We need to challenge each other just to make sure that we're able to really get the facts, not the opinions. When another person asks, "Where do you know?" "Oh, it's just my friend said it." "Why do you think that? Why do you believe that he said it right?" "Oh, I trust that he's smart." And then if you ask that other person, "Where you got information?" "Oh, I get it from my friend." And there's a lot of times there's a line of friends or friends of friends, and that information sometimes gets distorted, and people start to believe in distorted information from their friends, even though that information is not validated. And we need to understand that we need to validate information where it's coming from, even from ourselves, because that could be coming from our opinions, our minds, our expectations, but actually not true. So, and the last thing that I want to, in that field I want to mention is that fear of the unknown. Sometimes when we really fearful to have that uncertainty, that unknown, and because of that we just looking for some certainty. And when we have like, okay, I know that that's exactly what it is, and we're looking for certainty a lot of times in life. But I think that's what is the biggest key to success is we need to look for clarity, not certainty. Clarity, not certainty. It's a beautiful thing. So when we ask ourselves, are you clear on that? Do you have full understanding and clarity? Not certainty. And that's of course much better. You're able to really come out of that illusion and you go to actual understanding. Number four is consequence for growth and transformation. And so number one, so when you start to believe that you know more than anybody else, when you know it all, what happens? This is the end of learning. This is the end to learning. There's no more learning coming after that. But we know that we are always able to improve. We're always able to get better. So if we're able to get better, that means that believing that we know it all makes us stuck in one location. We're not supposed to stuck. We're not built to be stuck in one location. And that's why having that know it all mindset is hurting us tremendously. And second thing in that same field is that could be emotional or social isolation. Isolation. That means who wants to be around people who always think that they know it all? They always, when other person acts in a way, no, they're not supposed to act this way. Who created this rule? Who created this kind of rule? But I think that a lot of times people live not authentic life, and people put a lot of masks on themselves because all those know-it-all people start to dictate how they're supposed to live, and people pleasers start to put their masks on to really align with some people directions. And that's not right. That's not right. I think that we need to really humble those people who say that, "Oh, I know it all." Because we're supposed to live based on our own beliefs. Of course, sometimes there is some gray area, but a lot of times we need to understand that we're not supposed to listen to what other people say how we're supposed to live. We're supposed to listen our internal world to say how we're supposed to live our life. And of course, that's why people who tell everyone how this is supposed to live without really living a good life, it's they become isolated because no one wants to be with that kind of people. And then on the same side that people who really know it all a lot of times wants to be seen know it all, and they need to really have that mask all the times on themselves, and that means that leads for them to really constantly try to learn, improve, get better. And that could potentially lead to burnout, to really to keep that mask on, because putting a mask and keep that on sometimes is very, very hard. When you are who you are, it's much easier to live because it's smooth. But when you try to put your mask on, it's very, very, very hard. And at some point that could lead to really burnout. Number five, and the last one is that the path towards balance. And that means that embracing uncertainty and collaboration. That is it really to success. So number one thing in that is that we need to have that intellectual humility. Having no matter where you have, no matter how much knowledge you have, being able to be humble and ask questions. Because when you know a lot of times when someone is telling you what you already know, sometimes we want to really stop them and say that no, I already know that. But maybe they have something that you do not know. By stopping them and saying that I already know that, you're stopping from opportunity to learn that one nugget that you could share that you have no idea about. Because you do not know what he knows fully. It might be that you know like 90% of what he has to say. And that means that you'll need to listen through that 90% to really get to that one, maybe 1%er, and have that intellectual humility. Second thing is in their interdependence. That means that when we really want to gather information, we need to understand that we are learning not just from ourselves, but from other people as well. So that means being able to interconnect with great minds and share and discuss. I think that's one of the best ways to learn. Not just study by yourself, but really discuss those ideas with other people. And that's a way to really share those ideas. Because it says how is the best way to learn is when you learn and share. Because when you share in your mind, it's locks in. So being able to share, of course, is one of the best things. And again, the most important part probably is the growth mindset. Because if you feel that you know it all, that means it's fixed. That's it. You achieved your success is fixed. There is nowhere to go. But when you really know that there's more things to learn, more aspects to review, you have a growth mindset. And of course, there's a book by Dweck that's a growth mindset. And she speaks that when you start to believe that there's something is fixed, you have fixed mindset. And there's a lot of times that you can say like, oh, I have growth mindset. Yeah, you can have growth mindset in few areas of your life, and you might have fixed mindset in other areas of life. And you can ask, which areas of my life I feel that I'm fixed, and which areas do I feel that I need to change, and I'm able to change, and there's a move from fixed to growth. I have found myself as well that I always believe that I'm growth minded, but even though that 90% of things that I knew that I'm growth minded, I still find a few areas of my life that I still used to believe that I'm fixed. And I was able to change that. But we need to be aware of it to be able to change it. And I think that every single person, including myself, still have some areas of our lives that we are fixed. Believe that we are fixed, even though that we are able to grow. So I hope you reflect as well. Often do you feel that you know it all? And how often do you challenge that? And how often are you able to really bring that growth mindset into your life and really go after learning, not believing that you already learned? So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.